Welcome to the Teresa Harding podcast, where you will learn from one of the top leaders in the network marketing industry. Teresa Harding has grown her team to over millions of people. She's grown online and she's grown offline, and now she's ready to show you the secrets. So get ready to change the way you think. She truly cares about the success of her team and the people that she teaches. So get ready to learn the tips, tricks, and secrets that will allow you to grow a successful business in the 21st century.
I'm Teresa Harding, and this is the Teresa Harding Podcast. This podcast is for people who know that this industry is not about the network marketer anymore. It's about the people we serve and the change we can make in other people's lives. It's about the entrepreneur inside of each of us who's trying to find our voice. It's for the people who want to change the world and are looking for the most powerful way to make that happen. Okay, so I know a lot of people when they start exercising, a lot of people in January live in a place where it's cold. Not everyone does, but I think people want to know, is it unhealthy to run outside in the cold? Tell me, what do you know about that?
It's not unhealthy. It might be unsafe if you're running on ice or snow or you get a patch or something, right? Yeah, in Utah where we live, usually there's a lot of unhealthy air because it gets so cold, the dirty air gets trapped. So it might cause lung issues or it's at an unhealthy level. But for the most part, the cold doesn't make a difference.
The cold is... Okay.
No, it's okay for you.
What if it's so cold that it's like freezing the hairs in your nose? Like really?
Some people like it.
And so it's for your health, it's totally great.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, they do this cryotherapy now where people get into these freezing chambers, and it's like 230 degrees negative, below zero, and they stand in there, and so...
And they're showing the health benefits of that. It's totally true.
You know, whatever is going to work for that person, but there's no negative health benefits of the cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a term that is being kind of thrown around. It's called muscle confusion. Mm-hmm. So is that a real thing? Tell me about that, and tell me what the issues are. Or...
Sure. I think scientifically that is a real thing.
Okay.
For us as trainers or general
is.
pop. So the idea behind muscle confusion is that if you do a different workout every time, or often, that your muscles don't get used to it and they'll build, or you'll get more flexibility or mobility or strength or cardiovascular endurance, whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
But that's not really the case, right? I think the biggest thing that I want to see with my clients is I want to be able to help them track progress. And if I change my clients' workouts every 2 days or every 3 days, even every week sometimes, they're not going to be able to see progress, right? We're going to be working on an exercise for a week. Maybe they come in 5 days a week. They're going to get it 5 times, then we switch it up. And they don't do that exercise again. We can't track progress. We don't see where they're going, how they're moving. It's really hard. So muscle confusion is real, but it doesn't help training if you change your workouts all the time. It's not going to make a difference.
But like if for example, I went for a while where I was doing the same workout, I was getting the results I wanted, I was getting the tone where I wanted, and it was great. But then it seemed like after like a year, it had been a while, and then I started feeling like it wasn't as effective as it used to be.
Right.
So,
that's probably the case, but you were doing it for a long time, you said, right?
Yeah.
So after, we typically change our clients' workouts around every 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And they're very similar as we change them. So it's not a totally new workout. It may be a progression or a regression. Instead of using heavier weights, now we're using a band so the tension grows rather than just having the same weight. It could be going from 2 legs to 1 leg for a squat or a deadlift or something like that. So now we're adding some imbalance in there rather than just a stable platform. So there's a lot of, like I said before, there's a lot of ways to change something and make it harder, but muscle confusion isn't really going to help
not every day.
you.
Don't do. Give it a little bit of time. Okay,
that's also where you're probably going to get sore all the time. Like I said, sore isn't necessarily good. Doesn't mean you got a good workout.
Because it feels like if you're sore, you must have done something awesome.
You probably did something different, but not necessarily awesome, right? So just be careful with what you're doing, but don't feel like you have to change it up every time you go and do something different, right?
Okay.
That plan that you have to go to the gym to be successful, keep that same plan for maybe a month or 2, and then switch it up when you finally feel like I can add heavier weights or do a different machine or whatever that is, right?
So now what's better, cardio or intermittent? Like, the drench class I went to, it's absolutely like work out hard, then rest. Work, then rest. So tell me, are both beneficial? When are they beneficial?
Yeah, they're both good, right? If somebody's going to go take a walk or run outside or on a treadmill, that's good. The difference between steady state cardio and interval training or HIIT training,
which is H.I.I.T.
Yeah, H.I.I.T. high intensity interval training is what it
Yeah.
stands for, right? So steady state cardio will burn calories and it'll keep your heart rate up for the length of time that you're running or whatever that cardio situation is, right? Whether you're on a bike, in a spin class or something
Yeah.
like that, or just running on the treadmill, your heart rate will be up and you'll be burning calories during that time. So if it's an hour long, you're going to be burning calories for an hour. And then your heart rate and metabolism will quickly fall off, almost like it's falling off a cliff, right? If we do the interval training, so we get the heart rate up, bring it back down, bring it up, let it come back down, that has proven effective in scientific research for kind of what we call an afterburn effect, where you'll be able to keep your heart rate at a higher your metabolism, at a higher rate for a longer period of time, right? So now you're burning more calories up to 72 hours longer, right? And that cardio, interval training, doesn't have to just be running or just be sprinting. You could do it with weights, you can do it with a class, you can do it with yoga, right? Yoga, surprisingly, will get your heart rate up, right? And it doesn't have to be really quick and really intermittent on
dramatic.
Those. Right, it doesn't have to be crazy. It can be 5 minutes on, a minute off. It could be 10 minutes on, 2 minutes off, however you want to structure that. If you're really going for cardiovascular endurance or intensity, we want to do maybe 10 seconds to 60 seconds on and then a recovery, right?
Okay.
The real hard part about that is a lot of people think, I'm ready to go, and then their next intense interval isn't that intense because they haven't recovered enough. So make sure if you're adding that interval training in, that you're really pressuring your heart rate to get it high, but also take enough time to recover so it can get low. So the next interval you have, or the sprint you have, or whatever it is, you can give 100%.
Okay, so now this is my confessions of the person going to the trainer's class. So when I first go in, I didn't know exactly what the class was. And so I'm on this bike with the water. It was so cool. The pedal's enclosed in this case and it has water. So you're pedaling. And he says, okay, get ready, go. And he's like, go your hardest, go your hardest. And I'm like, hey, it's been a week of Christmas. And so I went like almost my hardest, but I thought, I don't know how long I can go at this pace right this second. And then after 30 seconds, because I got there just a little bit after it started. So after 30 seconds, he said, okay, stop, now rest. So I'm sitting there going, okay, now I'm being lazy. And I didn't realize, but because it was interval, then after that I realized we were doing 30 seconds on, 30 seconds rest. Then 20 seconds on, right? Yep. 20 seconds rest. 10 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. Then I was like, oh, okay, I can go hard.
Yeah, and the longer you go, the harder it is to recover, right?
Yeah.
So you may rest for just 30 seconds the first few intervals. Maybe then it becomes longer between each interval because it's harder to recover the longer you go.
Yeah. So I think, honestly, a lot of times we don't do our best because we're chicken. I mean, honestly, we're kind of afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, why do you call it drench? That sounds so scary.
I want you to sweat in there. No, it's hard, right? It's a challenge. But
Yeah.
I think that's part of working out with other people or with a trainer or in a group. They're going to push you, right? I know when I started working out, I would look at other people and think, I think I'm stronger than him, or I want to be stronger than that person. I think I can lift more than that. And I probably, guaranteed actually, would not have lifted that weight or done the extra set or reps if I was on my own.
If the competition wasn't there.
Or
it's helpful.
my trainer wasn't pushing me, or I saw other people in the class. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm pretty self-motivated, but there were several times in the class where I was going hard and you're like, harder, harder. I'm like, okay, harder. So that's
it
awesome.
does it. Do the train.
So, okay.